I picked up this Metabo HPT drill and impact driver kit. It was shockingly cheap on Amazon, and I think it might solve one of my biggest issues with budget tools that I've tested, a crappy trigger. I'll test both the drill and impact driver against these brushless Ryobis, compare specs and features, review the trigger and tool control, and rank the entire kits at the end to see if this set is the best value drill and impact driver from all the ones that I've tested. I'm really hoping this set lives up to my expectations with solid performance and quality triggers, but the torque ratings are lower, so hopefully these tools don't fall on their face. This Metabo HPT kit is $129 regularly on Amazon, and I purchased it for $109 with a coupon that I see semi-regularly. Some key competitors that I've tested previously include the new Brushless Hyper Tough, which you can buy separately for $44 each, a CC kit for close to $140 from Amazon, Ryobi from Home Depot, which appears to be going up in price from what I have previously purchased tools at. A brush kit is $140, but I'm really interested in brushless. The brushless compact kit is $179. Wow. And the Gen 1 full-size kit, which is what I'll mainly be testing against, is $199. The Gen 2 Ryobi full-size tools have come out, but are sold separately. The impact driver tool is $129 and the drill is $159 with a 4 amp hour battery. And the triggers are still terrible on the new Ryobis because I've tested the Gen 2 impact driver. Enough frustrating cost numbers, let's start testing the Metabos for performance. Aside from the pre-crushed Amazon box, the packaging is nice. The tools feel good in the hand and the batteries fit nicely. The fit and finish is much better than you get with the HyperTough or really the CC. From pulling the trigger a few times before specifically testing it, it does feel good. Since this impact is rated at only around 1,500 inch-pounds, much lower than the Ryobi at 2,200 inch-pounds, let's get into the performance testing. Obviously, those lower specs may make you hesitant, but not all manufacturers test in the same way, so this is how we find out. Getting the Ryobi going as a baseline, all tests will be run with fully charged 2 amp hour batteries. The Ryobi impact driver completes the test in 3.8 seconds, pretty much expected from the previous test. This Gen 1 is pretty punchy. I didn't see much better performance from the Gen 2 Ryobis using the same HP batteries. Let's see what Metabo has despite the significantly lower torque rating. The Metabo does it in 4.2 seconds, very respectable. The torque rating isn't a specific test between manufacturers, or you would have expected much worse from the Metabo. The Metabo is noticeably lighter and shorter. It weighs 2 pounds 13 ounces compared to the heavier Ryobi at 3 pounds 4 ounces, which is very similar to the Gen 2 that I tested. It can also pop off some clean 85 foot-pound lug nuts easily, even with an extra adapter, because I can never find the right tool or adapter that I was looking for. I don't know where they all go. Anyway, it's not quite as quick as the Ryobis, but it gets the job done, no problem. For the collet, the Ryobi does have an advantage. The collet seems to have tighter tolerances and less play on the bit. Then the Ryobi is a quick connect, while the Metabo is the standard collet. For me, with the Ryobi, when I release bits, I don't usually release it fully to reset the collet for the next bit, so the Ryobi quick connect doesn't usually help me out much in practicality. Next to drill performance, again, the Metabo is rated lower at 620 inch-pounds, while the full-size drill is rated at 750 inch-pounds, and the compact 450 inch-pounds. Let's see how those ratings translate to lag bolt speed. Both the Ryobis first up for comparison on speed 1. They go in 3.2 and 3.5 seconds. Metabo up next. Its torque rating suggests it should split the Ryobis. The Metabo is quite impressive, especially when you set the drills next to each other. The Metabo is much shorter than the full-size Ryobi and even shorter than the compact at 6 inches. Then on the weight, this drill splits the Ryobis as well. With this lag bolt, most drills hit overload protection on speed 2. Let's check the drills to see how much they can do before overload protection hits. and clearly the Metabo drives deeper on speed 2 before it hits overload protection. Looking at some cabinet screws, the Metabos get it done quickly, similar to the Ryobis. Not really enough load to test them, they just get the job done. The Metabos, in my opinion and based on my testing, are performing above their torque ratings. In the manual, they clearly show how they got that impact torque number. You can tell from the manual they do some real engineering over there with their tools. I bought a Metabo miter saw, and the wealth of setup and knowledge in the manual suggested they cared more about their tools than your standard budget tool company. This kit also has a lifetime tool warranty and accepts their multi-volt batteries. So when they were on sale, I just had to pull the trigger on this kit. Speaking of trigger, pun intended, kind of. Anyway, I'm really hoping this trigger is noticeably better. Specifically, I know my 15-year-old Ryobi drill trigger is better than tools today. All the budget impacts I've tested use cheap triggers and either struggle with control or have electronic modes or speeds to help compensate for those control issues. Metabo doesn't have that, but they have a smooth feel with minimal lag. The speed increases progressively, where the Ryobis feel like they step up in speed with 4 to 5 steps, and I showed how their new Gen 2 drill doesn't engage until you've pulled over half the trigger. That's not the case with the Metabo. It progressively increases and then feels like the last quarter of the trigger is all at full power. Testing it out on wood, and yes, you have control. I feel like I can put a screw exactly where I want without a lower speed. So I have full speed, and then I can let off the trigger and pull as I get close. On the Ryobi, I need to slow the whole tool down to speed 2 to have good control, which means the tool is much slower overall. Now, I will say if you're doing delicate work, those low speed controls are still helpful. While I also use a clutch on the drill, the trigger is still nice. No lag or sponginess like I feel with the Ryobis. Now, I will admit the overmolding on the Metabos does feel slightly slick. I think after it wears in it will be good, but out of the box it does feel a little slick, and the advantage would have to go to the Ryobis for a better grip. Also, some bad news. While this Metabo set has consistently been $129 for 6 months or more and periodically on sale, I did see an increased price of $169 on Amazon during the editing of this video. While I hope that price increase is temporary, it could be a new tariff price as these do come from China, but frankly at this point better tools and cheaper price than the Ryobis from Home Depot. But before I call a winner too soon, let me mathematically rank them based on specs and performance and not my opinion. I input the specs and performance for both tools. For all categories, lower is better. Then the raw data is interpolated to a score from 0 to 1, 1 being the best in the category and 0 being the worst. I then add weight or double the importance of the performance score and add it all up. Metabo still wins the tool rank even without any warranty metric and with the conservative higher $169 price. I do really hope that goes back down to $129 or even the lower sale price that got me to pull the trigger on these in the first place. I'll drop some tool links in the description so you can check the current prices yourself. They do move around a little bit. Thanks very much for watching. I appreciate the support and hope this video has been helpful. It's been a bit frustrating testing some tools that have had issues or just haven't performed well, so it's nice to take a chance and have this drill and impact kit live up to my expectations. I hope to test out some more Metabo tools in the future. While they don't have a significant number of tools in their lineup, I have been impressed with all my Metabo tools so far. When I test out the stuff in the future, I'll be sure to drop a video. Please consider liking, subscribing, or checking out another video.